A Taiwan court has upheld the death sentence of a man who brutally murdered a woman 4 years ago. It is the first ruling in favor of capital punishment since its use was restricted by Taiwan's constitutional court last year. Now, Reece Ayers is live with us in Taipei with more on this. Reece, given how seldom Taiwan actually implements the death penalty, why have judges decided that this case in particular deserves the harshest punishment?
Well, it's likely to do something with the sheer brutality of this murder and also the lack of remorse shown by the perpetrator. It's a decision that's likely going to be celebrated by those that support the death penalty in Taiwan, and polls show that over 80% of the Taiwanese public do support it. Now, this case will be celebrated particularly because it's the first time that a death sentence has been upheld in Taiwan since, as you mentioned, last year, that the courts ruled in September that the death penalty was only partially constitutional and that it should only be used in the most extreme cases and that its usage should be narrowed. Now, back in late last year, a man who killed 8 people, 8 members of his own family in a fire, he actually had his death sentence commuted. That led some to question whether or not Taiwan's capital punishment laws were essentially defunct. The last time that Taiwan even actually put someone to death was in 2020. But this recent ruling shows that Taiwan is still willing to put people to death, that is still on the table. And in this instance, it's due to the premeditated and gruesome nature of that killing. Now, to briefly review, in October of 2020, a man from the southern city of Kaohsiung, he stalked, he kidnapped, raped and killed a Malaysian exchange student who was walking to her university dormitory. Subsequent investigations found that he'd attempted a similar attack on another woman beforehand. Luckily, that woman was able to fight and escape. Now, skipping forwards to today, Taiwan's Supreme Court asked the local Kaohsiung court to review their sentencing, which they did, and they came to the same conclusion that this man should be put to death, showing that while it may be used sparingly, Taiwan does remain a country that's willing to put the worst criminals to death for the most heinous crimes.